So I'm the founder and CEO of NACA. We are a national nonprofit organization where we do affordable home ownership and aggressive advocacy.
Now, Bruce, you've been touring across the country, more importantly in the state of California. You were just in the Bay Area last week. I think you were in San Francisco recently.
Yeah.
And ironically, during the time where you're in San Francisco, my mother received her information from her lender, Bank of America.
Yeah.
And at the same time, for them saying, we can help you. And people like my mother and so many other families and women in crisis situations to save their home, or they want their homes back because they're out. What is the success rate of NACA, and what have the people been saying to you as far as the feedback of the public?
Well, at these Save the Dream events, over 55% of the homeowners will leave an affordable solution. And actually, if someone has a Bank of America mortgage, 82% will leave with a same-day solution. So it really depends on who the lender is. But, everything's free. So, people really appreciate it. But more important, they appreciate the advocacy that we do. Because the best compliment someone can give me is not just that we save their home, but they say, thank you for standing up. So really, particularly for young people out there, is that we engage in what we call nonviolent bank terrorism.
What is that? Nonviolent bank terrorism.
So nonviolent bank terrorism is when we hold the CEOs of these banks personally responsible for their actions. Because we used to have a standard in America called personal responsibility. And they like to hoist that responsibility onto young people, onto everybody else, except the very rich and the wealthy and the CEOs of these companies. So we say, what's better than to go with 400 to 500 homeowners and more into the gated communities where these CEOs live, knock on their front door, often on a Sunday morning, and say, we want you to meet the families that you're foreclosing on. We want you to meet the people you're throwing out of your homes. And we've been doing this for a long time. So it's really going back where young people were really the foundation of the civil rights movements. And it's really going back to that type of advocacy that says, you got to do that. So instead of, thinking that, well, if I do the right thing, things are going to work out. We like to think that that's true, but often that's not true. You got to fight for it. So you got to fight for those opportunities, and that's what we do at NACA.
And NACA is doing such a tremendous job in helping people save their homes and in their future dreams, the American dream, if you will. Yeah. But Occupy Wall Street is redefining the American dream, whether it's structural or non-structural, whatever the debate out there is. Yeah. But Occupy Wall Street and occupying, all these lending spaces, if you will, has also brought to light the new face of homelessness. What are your thoughts about Occupy Wall Street and the state of homelessness in our country?
Oh, I think what Occupy Wall Street does is fantastic. I mean, we've been doing that for many years, and so they've taken what we've been doing and building on that and doing it even that much better and that much broader. So I think it's absolutely, because, what they're doing is they're highlighting what's going on to the middle class, to working people, to the homeless, to a cross-section of people. And it's really a crucial part, and it's not going to go away. People think, it's a fad or whatever, it's going to die. No, it's going to keep on building because people are energized around it. And what you see differently than what you used to see when politicians and people, they would get arrested. But it was more for show. But what you see now with the Occupy Wall Street is it's not for show. It's people really putting themselves on the line, getting arrested, having, the police pick them up, whether there's cameras there or not, because they're really committed to what it is. So it's really going back to what the civil rights movement has been and what's got us to where we are today, but broadening that out to a whole spectrum of people in virtually every community, every part of this country, standing up and saying, what about me? So it's really about economic justice. It's much more than about housing, much more than about any particular issue. It's around economic justice as a whole. And, they're doing a fantastic job. and it's expanding. It's not going to go away.
Thank you so much. Thanks for upholding the dream. I'm your host, Melina, with the Constituent, and we're here at the Democratic Convention right next door to NACA. Thank
Yes,
you, Bruce.
you're very welcome. Thanks for having me.